What is up guys, Faded here and welcome back to the channel for another video. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at the all new Lenovo Ideacentre Y700. Now first off I want to say I do have laryngitis, so I'm trying to get this video done and I sound like a squeaky little girl. Now the Y700 is essentially the little brother to the Y900, so this is the entry model that comes with an i5 processor and also 2GB version of the GTX 960 from Nvidia. We are just going to go ahead and touch on some of the things that I liked and most importantly the things that I disliked about this PC. But before diving deep, let's go ahead and take a look at the specs so that we're all on the same page. This model comes with an Intel i5 6400 CPU, 8GB of DDR4 RAM, a 120GB SSD from Samsung that is, and also a Seagate 1TB hybrid drive. And finally the less hardcore graphics card, the GTX 960 with 2GB of VRAM, which places this PC strongly in the realm of 1080p. So now we have the spec sheet taken care of. Let's go ahead and take a look over some of the other things that Lenovo has done well with this PC. First off, let's take a look at its beautiful design. It's quite unique and it should appeal to most gamers out there, but it does do this without being too overbearing like many of the Alienware products that are out on the market. They've stuck with the all black and red accent color palette, which has pretty much become a trademark of Lenovo gaming PCs. Lenovo also included a couple peripherals as well, and not necessarily cheap check the box type of peripherals either. They're quite fleshed out and they even have LEDs and the keyboard is backlit as well. They even go as far as to make the mouse customizable with different profiles with loads of options of buttons, and there's a lot there if you need that versatility. The keyboard even has red arrow keys and WASD keys, so it's definitely some good here, but more on that a little bit later. Also a DVD player, which many companies have kind of forgotten about lately. I'm sure many people will appreciate this, but for me, digital delivery is just fine. Storage. An SSD from Samsung is awesome, and it definitely makes everything just that much faster. And also a 1TB storage drive for all your games, though I'm not sure why they made it a hybrid drive when you already have a main SSD, but hey, what the heck, I'll take it. A really good thing about this PC is its performance. When it works, of course. The 960 can handle just about any game out there, but of course you're going to have to turn down some of the settings on many extreme games. Multitasking and running everyday applications handles just fine, and you have no problem being your everyday desktop computer if the amount of negatives that I'm about to get into do not overwhelm you. And the biggest of which being the fact that this PC has to be updated right out of the box. And not just driver updates, but a massive BIOS update to fix random crashes and system instability. Now it flows and functions just fine, and then all of a sudden it'll either get extremely slow or freeze, or it'll just black out completely. And it doesn't even properly do a Windows dump so I can see exactly what's going on and try to fix it. But after updating, the problems have seemed to go away, except for sometimes when I do turn it on, this happens. So obviously some more work needs to be done here, which is most likely why this model has not moved into full release yet, at the time of writing of course. But we can get past this with updates and such, but let's go ahead and talk about what cannot be fixed. The keyboard and mouse are a nice add-on, which I was not expecting to get. The mouse is very nice, and I may even consider getting one for myself. It flows and clicks well, but the third mouse button is a little easy to click. Now the keyboard is cool looking, but it does not feel all that right. Like something feels a little bit off about it. And typing on it was kind of a pain. Many times I hit the wrong keys because there's no point of reference, not even a bezel on a single key at all. So it's kind of hard to figure out where you are, especially if you're playing a game and you don't have time to look down and see where you are. So it really takes some good muscle memory to kind of figure out where you are in your keys and not miss a key and click the wrong button and throw a grenade when you meant to reload or something like that. But it does serve its purpose, and as time goes on you will of course get used to it. And all in all, this was a lot more than I was expecting. I was expecting some regular, cookie cutter keyboard and some crappy mouse. So this is a lot better than what we were expecting. Now moving on. The rear I/O could have had a bit more USB ports, though they did have quite a few up front, but I prefer them to be more in the back just because cables up front, they kind of get in the way of everything and they hang over the front of your DVD drive and it just becomes a hassle. So I would prefer to have more in the back, a lot more than what they have here. And it's a custom board. Lenovo could have easily added more, but they chose not to in this case. And here's where I find the biggest problem with this PC. And it's not even with the performance. I mean, performance is pretty solid and it plays practically everything out there. But it's the choices that Lenovo has made with this PC. I mean, bad choices. But let's go ahead and pop the panel and take a look inside and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. The guts of this PC are nothing pretty to see. It's not anything nice to look at, so don't expect to put a window panel on it or anything like that. Though in a PC of this price, I wouldn't expect to see something extremely good looking especially where people aren't looking anyways, but this doesn't excuse the cutting of the corners that Lenovo has done here. Lenovo has kind of hit the bottom of the bucket on everything in here. 80 plus bronze PSU, stock cooler, extremely close to unshielded RAM, 2 really cheap fans, a cheap optical drive, and a glaring eyesore combined with an extreme disappointment when you were expecting this and you got this. Now, of course, that was the Y900 and I probably shouldn't have expected that much, but I mean, plastic? Really? Friggin' plastic. My god, Lenovo, why? That is just ridiculous. But I could probably get over that, and I'm sure plastic will do just fine. It just looks really tacky. Though the main reason of getting a desktop is expandability and the ability to upgrade and make changes. Lenovo just shot themselves in the foot on this one. This reason alone is enough on its own to cut and run. So if you buy a single GPU model thinking, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and get a 960, at the end of the road or later on when they become cheaper. Nope, because in the interest of cutting costs, Lenovo has omitted the PCI Express slot for a second GPU. What the fuck? This is a slap in the face, Lenovo. What is wrong with you? This defeats the purpose altogether. Very, very frustrating, but hey, they probably don't even have enough lanes to even run a second card at a decent speed anyways on this cheap ass board. Now, if you can get over all that, then, have a listen to the sweet sound of coil whine ringing throughout your man cave. This likely won't affect all machines, but Lenovo's use of the cheapest materials on the planet are likely to be the root cause of this issue. Now, all this brings me to my final point, my conclusion, if you will. I really wanted to like this PC. There's a lot going for it, and you guys know that I love Lenovo. I practically built my channel on Lenovo products, but this just is not what we wanted. To me, this is unacceptable. Sure, if you are fine with this level of performance, which isn't bad, it is quite actually good, but there's so many corners being cut here. Lenovo, you just pushed it a bit too far. I give this PC a 5 out of 10, and 4 of those being for its performance, and 1 of those being for its unique design. But this cost is still too high to justify the pitfalls of this PC. The Y900 model may be something that we should look at, but I would expect just as many corners to be cut there as well. I'd say let's go ahead and take a pass on the Lenovo Ideacentre Y700. If you guys have any questions, be sure to drop them down below in the comments, and as always, be sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to take a look at my other gameplay videos on this PC. If you're still not convinced and you still want to go ahead and get this PC, this will give you a better idea of how it performs. Those videos will be posted on my other channel, and I will leave a link in the description. You guys have a good one.